Everyone, meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. Rain pressing in from the west. A few of us will get some measurable moisture overnight. Will this cool off your Tuesday? Details in your hour-by-hour forecast are next.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
We begin with breaking news tonight. It involves an elevator fire. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Crews remain at the scene of a fire, which is in Lake Park, Minnesota.
That's just west of Detroit Lakes along Highway 10. The fire call came in around 7 o'clock tonight. Let's go out to Valley News Team's Christina Craig for the latest on this situation. Christina?
A fire in an old grain elevator has been burning for nearly 3 hours, and now crews finally have the blaze under control. They're working on extinguishing the remaining flare-ups. Now, almost every area fire department is here. That's totaling in at about 12 to 15 different departments, not including law enforcement, who are also assisting. Lake Park police tell me that this elevator has been vacant for nearly 30 years, and luckily nobody was injured. Even the Becker County Sheriff says in his 30 years of service, this is hands down one of the largest fires he's ever seen. I'll have more on this shortly. Reporting live in Lake Park, I'm Christina Craig. Back to you guys in studio.
Thank you, Christina. We'll be having much more updates on this later, but also on valleynewslive.com as well. A 97-year-old World War II veteran who's almost completely deaf and legally blind was kicked out of a care facility where he'd been living. According to the North Dakota Veterans Home, Henry Satlick was verbally abusive and repeatedly told to quit his behavior or he had to leave.
Now, Henry's son, Van, contacted our whistleblower team to look into this situation, the practices of the Veterans Home, and who is ultimately in charge of the facility. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric has been investigating this for weeks. He visited with Henry to see just how much of a threat he actually poses.
Peaceful, quiet farmland encircles leisure living in Hartford, South Dakota, just outside Sioux Falls. It's where 97-year-old Henry Satlick now sleeps. He was born and raised here, then joined the Army serving in Northern Africa and Italy.
And was injured, from what he says, and eventually was discharged from the Army in 1945.
That's Van Satlick, Henry's son, the oldest of 5 kids.
Being he's 97 years old, he has both vision problems and hearing problems. He has macular degeneration.
You're blind, you don't see half the out. Don't say that on TV.
Before living in South Dakota, Henry lived here at the North Dakota Veterans Home in Lisbon. But while living at the home, a feud was born. Henry was wrongfully accused of tracking in mud from a nearby construction site. Henry then reported another resident for smoking while on oxygen.
Then my dad was called a snitch for reporting this incident. And so my dad and this gentleman haven't gotten along for a couple of years.
It reached a head nearly a year ago. According to this report, Henry began cursing at residents and staff members. The report tells a tale of a depressed, ornery old man with few outlets for his attention.
At that point, they also sent out a warning letter saying that his behavior needed to change.
This was early October now, and this letter reads, quote, "There have been numerous incidents in which you have been verbally abusive and threatened physical abuse. You often shake your cane, give offensive hand gestures, and swear at others. Your behaviors are unacceptable and need to stop." Van was able to get Henry transferred to a different part of the home under the conditions his dad meet with a clinical psychologist and a VA neuropsychologist.
And that doctor said that, well, at age 97, you know, they don't use a lot of filter in what they're saying. So that's you know, nothing unusual there.
Remember that warning letter where the Veterans Home said Henry had threatened physical abuse? The neuropsychologist's opinion:
that he was not physically dangerous. The North Dakota Veterans Home claims that he is endangering the health and safety of other residents by name calling.
And what about the clinical psychologist that was supposed to visit Henry?
She came to the North Dakota Veterans Home, and she actually did not meet with him. She just reviewed notes on his behavior and said that he needed more structure and stimulation, including watching TV and looking at pictures.
2 activities not possible for Henry Satlick. It's not the first time an official failed to meet with Henry. Van alleges Mark Johnson, the man whose signature is on these warning and discharge letters, never met or talked to his father. In an email, Van types, "I found it deplorable that in over 1,000 working days since my dad initially became a resident, that he had never met my dad. I question if Mark is really interested in all of the residents." But Henry slipped up again in December.
Then by doing that, he got a 30-day discharge notice.
He had 30 days to get out. So why was Henry, a 97-year-old, legally blind, almost completely deaf, World War II vet, essentially kicked to the curb? I tried calling Mark Johnson, the vet's home administrator, nearly a half dozen times with no response. So I went down to the facility to confront him about the situation.
You don't need to take me.
Okay.
So
I was barely inside the front door before Mark greeted me. His answer to why Henry was kicked out?
it's federal and state regulations, and that's all it's about. You know, I have to look at all veterans and make sure that they're all being served properly.
What regulations? I couldn't find anything other than one section of the Veterans Home Handbook that says when a resident endangers another resident or staff member through physical or repetitive verbal abuse, they may be subject to discharge. Henry Satlak, again, according to the clinical notes report, had not specifically targeted just one resident.
He's 97 years old. I mean, how much abuse could he be causing someone?
I'm not going to comment. I think the biggest thing is if we're going to talk about it at the next meeting.
Which is tentatively scheduled for July. Mark Johnson was pretty much done not answering my questions by this point.
So if you want to talk to our chairman of the board, he's said he'd be glad to talk to you.
So I called the chairman of the governing board, Gary Scarpel. Again, I asked how Henry Satlak, who faithfully served his country, could be kicked out. Scarpel told me they received the information, were taking it under advisement, but would otherwise not comment. The officials in charge of a facility caring for elderly veterans, funded by your tax dollars, would not answer my questions.
I've heard that the governing board and Mark Johnson are kind of like this.
While Van remains frustrated by this whole ordeal, his father is doing well. When I visited, he was vocal, funny, and seemed content.
But I don't have a stove in here or nothing like that. They're afraid I'll be selling hot dogs.
Van's wife has strong opinions about this too, asking how do you change someone of that age when things slip out of their mouth?
Is it a dischargeable offense? My opinion was maybe the Veterans Home didn't take enough steps to try to redirect him, to intervene, to maybe have a joint meeting between the two residents, a conflict resolution. It didn't seem like they tried very many steps.
As for that tentatively scheduled meeting in July, I plan on attending, again bringing this situation with the Satlak family to the governing board's attention. I've already begun receiving calls today from more people who've had issues with the North Dakota Veterans Home, and I'll be talking tomorrow with one woman who says she had to pay over $10,000 a month for her husband to stay there. So this is hardly an isolated incident here.
We'll look forward to your updates. Thanks. We also want to tell you that we began to investigate this story after Henry's family contacted us. And if you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline. Leave your tip at 701-237-6576. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
It's in the hands of the jury, but they made no decision today in the Aaron Knodel trial. Knodel is accused of having a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old student in 2009. During closing arguments, the prosecutor told the jury to remember there are hours of phone logs and handwritten Post-it notes that an expert testified are likely Knodel's. The defense said that the state has no hard evidence that anything sexual ever happened between Knodel and his accuser. If convicted on all charges, Knodel could be sentenced up to 35 years in prison. The jury will resume deliberations tomorrow, and we will bring you the very latest. Well, the death toll has reached more than 4,000 people after that devastating 7.8 magnitude earthquake in Nepal, and it's expected to keep rising. But a group in Fargo is looking to help as much as they possibly can. Anjan Nupon is from Nepal and volunteers for the Fargo Red Cross. He's teaming up with the Nepalese Students Association at NDSU to raise as much money as they possibly can to help even one or two families.
every family, they are missing someone. In every neighborhood, they are missing their house. And in every community, they are missing their neighbors.
Now, if you would like to help, donation boxes will be set up in each department on the NDSU campus, where it will then be donated through the Red Cross.
A state of emergency has been declared in Baltimore, and the National Guard has been activated as firefighters battle blazes set by looters. Violence broke out today following the funeral of a 25-year-old black man who died after he was injured in police custody. Nearly 30 people have been arrested, and Baltimore schools said they would be closed tomorrow. Here at home, a much different story, as the sidewalks in Moorhead will soon be lined with art and poetry. City leaders agreeing to a proposal by Mara Morkin, no relation. She has already gathered nearly $15,000 from supporters of the project. If you would like to donate, we have a link for you on valleynewslive.com. Just search for this story.
There was no move tonight to reconsider a yes vote on the FM Flood Risk Mitigation District. Fargo Commissioner Mike Williams sought the move, and instead Mayor Tim Mahoney said city leaders did reaffirm their stance that the sales tax would take care of the Fargo's share from flood control. The goal is to, by 2018, to have a final flood control plan for FEMA. What's left is to raise the interstate, and it's a large piece of the puzzle. The city is working with the DOT, hoping they can accomplish this project in 2017.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
All right, well, we have a look outside today on our time lapse, and I got to share with you guys that we've had quite an interesting day with a beautiful sunrise. And then tonight we have rain out to the west. And are we going to get anything? We're going to talk about that here right away. First and foremost, the atmosphere over Fargo, very dry. As earlier in the afternoon, the temperature hit a high today in the mid-70s. But look at the dew point temperature. That's 25. The lower the dew point temperature is, well, the more cooling we have to do to the air to get it to saturate. In other words, the relative humidity was down in the teens of %. Now, setting this in motion throughout the afternoon hours as we headed towards sunset, we continue to see the clouds building in. And watch what happens as the rain tries to push in. Temperatures this evening, very comfortable. And then the cold front starts to approach, and you'll start to notice some low-hanging clouds and some rain falling out of the base of them. And it evaporates before it gets to the ground. That's called virga. But what that virga did is it added moisture to the lower atmosphere. We saw our dew points rise from the 20s into the 40s, and our relative humidities rise as well. Heading into the evening, the lower atmosphere is still trying to saturate. As soon as it does, we may have a chance at some rain, and the models advertising that chance may even be better for your lawns here in Fargo Moorhead. 56 degrees right now, winds gusting from the north over 30 miles per hour. And right now in Grand Forks, we are reporting rain, 49 degrees and a north wind at 10, so not nearly as gusty for our northern valley neighbors. The mild air down to the south, Wahpeton 59, but 43 in Langdon. Behind this system, it's been cool for the entire afternoon. Ahead of the system, it's been mild, but that's about to change heading into the overnight. Here's those clouds that have been on the increase, the system moving its way in. Now there's a heavier band of rain from the Jamestown area in towards the Ellendale area, Lemoore and Edgeley. This is all slowly moving off to the east in toward Valley City right now. We look up toward Grand Forks County, and we're seeing a little bit moving in towards Laverne. Grand Forks itself, within the hour, we'll see even another band make its way through with some reports of rain now. A little bit of light precipitation in northwest Minnesota, not all of this likely reaching the ground just yet. Remember, our air here, very dry out ahead of the system. Here's what the hour-by-hour forecast has to say, and we set this into motion, and look what happens overnight. I pause this at 1:25, whether you're out walking your ostriches or not, you may get a brief shower, and it could be moderate or heavy. So this is the change. Before, it looked like all the rain would happen up in the northern valley. Now we'll have a fair shot at getting at least 1/10 of an inch of moisture in some spots of the southern valley as well. That will be welcome. Starting out our day near 40 degrees, a few upper 30s up north and west, and the north winds will be 15 to 20 miles per hour. Through midday in your lunch hour, plan on taking the light jacket, but you can shed it in the afternoon. We'll be right back up in the 60s and plentiful sun as the wind decreases into your evening. And again, around 1/10 of an inch possible here and there. Isolated spots could get a little bit more. Many of us will see only a few hundredths of an inch. Overnight temperatures in Fargo fall into the mid-40s. This rain shower activity will be gone, so we'll see sunshine and temperatures rising to the upper 60s for your afternoon. Planning your day elsewhere. Lisbon 69, 67 in Wahpeton. Well, New York Mills will have 63 degrees and Breckenridge 67. The Northland a little bit cooler out there, 63 degrees. The rain will be gone for everyone by tomorrow afternoon, by the way, with temperatures in the mid and upper 60s in northeast North Dakota as well. Taking a look at some beautiful sunsets, taking a look at this 7-day forecast, and I forecast we'll see more beautiful sunsets in the future. Here's a look at a warming close to the work week with Wednesday 76, 80 on Thursday, a chance of thunder and lightning Friday through Sunday, you guys, and it does look like we'll see more 70s as well.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Hutch. Still ahead for us, we're going to go back out live to Lakes Country to get the latest on the burned elevator in Lake Park.
But first, looks like more and more dollars are going to be shelled out to show love to Mom this Mother's Day.
You're